Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. So we're going to get into a company I have never tried before. This is Maxace, and this model I believe is called the Glede, assuming I'm pronouncing it correctly. But again, my first time with this company or one of their knives. So we'll go through specs, overall impressions, details, and then we kind of ramble a bit, talk a little bit about a discussion that corresponds with an Instagram post that I put up. So what it ships with, branded pouch, pretty standard fare these days, at least for the overseas produced models. Most of the US production companies don't offer pouches like this, and they probably should. So I don't know that I want to call this a certificate of authenticity necessarily, but at least it has these specs in millimeters and grams. I believe that Instagram belongs to the manufacturer who manufactures for Maxace. So, little branded terry cloth as well. Anyways, so we'll get into specs first here. Two size comparisons, again, per kind of the norm. I got it up here against the Para 2 with the custom scales from Flightanium, and then the Kershaw Dividend. And again, this is the House of Blades S35 yen exclusive. So there we are in terms of the size. Blade length, about 3.75 inches, although the cutting edge is only about 3.25 because of the finger choil. Handle length 5 inches, overall about 8.75. The blade thickness, let's compare it next to like the Para here, is coming in at 0.14 inches, and then thickness behind the edge, I'm going to call it 0.03 inches, where the Para 2 is 0.025. So that's what you're looking at. This one is primarily a flat grind, but anyways, does weigh in at 4.9 ounces. So, large knife. They did a lot of weight reduction, so I'm going to say for its size, it's fairly light with the materials and so forth. And then I guess we'll do the handle thickness as well, coming in at 0.52 inches. So again, next to the Para 2. Any other specs? Ceramic bearing, ceramic detent, captured pivot of sorts. We'll talk about that. M390 blade steel, inlay in the blade, titanium, lightning strike, carbon fiber, milled 3D clip. So yeah, I think we'll call that good on the specs here. So overall impressions, this is kind of the thing that I was thinking a lot about with this knife, and I put up an Instagram post about it the other day. But this knife does everything very, very, very well in all categories in terms of fit and finish. The pocket clip, the blade retention, the action, all these things, they do a really good job with it. There's no issues with machining, there's no issues with fit and finish. Again, all those things are really, really good. Is there anything, stand out or above good, like in the excellent category with this knife? And that's the question I really don't know the answer to. I mean, if you're looking at this design and you like it, I think they do a really, really good job. In today's, I'm going to say like flooded marketplace with all the knives that are coming at us from all these different manufacturers, is there anything that really takes it above and beyond and stands out against the crowd? And, I don't really have an answer to that for me personally. I don't think that there is. But again, everything's very, very well executed. So I have no complaints. I have no qualms with the knife overall. And the interesting thing is I actually found myself carrying this one way more than I thought I would. It was sitting on my review table for about a month here, and if I needed to take the dog out, or I was running out to run an errand real quick and I was throwing something in my pocket, this thing actually ended up in my pocket, and I ended up carrying and using it way more than I anticipated. And I'm going to credit that to, again, just the overall great manufacturing, but also the long, slender design and a fantastic pocket clip. Works really damn well. So, again, I guess that portion was surprising to me, is that I've actually kind of fallen for the knife a little bit more than I thought it would, because I carried it so much, and I carried it so much for those reasons. So, I guess that's it for my overall impressions. I don't know that this got a lot of fanfare when I posted pictures on Instagram as far as like the overall design, but it's really good. So yeah, let's move on to the details now. Oh, one other thing. So the company that manufactures this Also manufactured a knife that I'll get to in a later video, but this is the PMP Beast, and this thing is an absolute beast. So there we are in terms of a size comparison. But anyways, that's who's doing the manufacturing. One thing that I had also incorrectly assumed is that Maxace and Steedman were the same company with the same manufacturers. Apparently that is not the case. The company that manufactures for Maxace let me know they do not manufacture for Steedman. But it's really hard to keep track of stuff overseas. Again, it's just not a lot of info available about it. All right, so as far as the details here, you know, M390 blade still, already mentioned that. We've got vertical satin here on the primary bevel. Flats are done in a horizontal, I don't know, maybe a hand rub or something. And there is a piece of carbon fiber, thin carbon fiber, that has been inlaid into the blade. We've seen this on a few other knives, but maybe this is one of the standout features. I mean, it's perfectly flush. I can't feel it at all. There's no gaps. So I mean, this, you know, again, it's not imperative to the design of the knife. It's just a visual accent, an aesthetic choice. But it's really well done. It's perfectly flush, no gaps. I think it's pretty cool. But you know, personal preference will dictate. So there's the company and the name, steel designation, and it does use obviously a thumb disc here to open it. Large finger choil, which works well. One of the things that I really did like as well is kind of the flat here at the top of the blade with the thumb disc is a very, very comfortable spot for your thumb. No sharp edges. It just works really well in the hand, and then you can choke up and kind of pinch a little bit on it. Finger choil works well even with my larger hands. So blade has a little bit of belly. Came really sharp. Again, I have no qualms, I have no issues with the fit and finish on the blade or the knife overall. So that's what the blade is looking like. You know, the detent strength, if you're just shaking it like normal, you got to shake it really hard, it will come out. So normal, not going to move, but like off camera, give it a good hard shake, this thing will pop open. Now keep in mind that thumb discs are not necessarily the most comfortable opening method. I've had a couple knives that have thumb discs, and if the thumb discs are not executed well, they're very uncomfortable. And if you have an overly strong detent on the thumb disc, again, it's going to be very uncomfortable. So I think they got the detent just right and the blade retention just right for the opening method. Although some people might prefer, you know, a blade that cannot be shaken out under any circumstance, but I think that's more in line with a flipper detent setup. So works well. You know, I can use my middle finger, I can use my thumb, reliable deployment, I don't slip at all. And again, there are no sharp edges on the thumb disc. You can see the machining that they did, so you get some flat spots there. So anyhow, obviously a piece of carbon fiber. Taking a look at the handle, I don't know, I guess a logoed pivot, if that's their logo. I don't even know. It is captured, it does use Torx, it is stainless steel. I always prefer stainless steel hardware on knives because all of my, you know, Torx bits are all hardened stainless steel. So again, personal preference, I will not belabor it. Lightning strike carbon fiber of sorts. It appears to be real carbon fiber, although, you know, the vibrance of that red, initially I thought it wouldn't be, but I think it is. So yeah, lanyard hole at the back, and then they did as much internal milling as they possibly could. So if you guys can see some light recessed, or some recessed areas internally. Obviously they had to recess on the outside for the inlays, so they milled externally and internally as much as they could to remove as much weight as possible. So, you know, that's definitely not lazy by any means. Stainless steel lock insert with an over travel stop. Lock bar has just a right amount of pressure, not too hard to disengage, and then they relieve this side a little bit. So again, getting in there, no drama, really easy. Lockup, about 50%. I spine whacked this thing a bunch of times. It didn't move. It's perfectly solid. and then the centering is perfect. So, and the pocket clip, one of my favorite features. Again, it just worked really, really well in jeans. Nice large lip, plenty of gap. It didn't get caught anywhere. It's recessed into the handle, so there's no play on the pocket clip. So well done all around. And then you've got two separate back spacers. I did post a disassembly video, a 1-minute video on Instagram that I will link in the description box below. And so, you know, again, everything is done very, very well. Are there any standout features or anything that sets this apart above so many other knives? Hard to say. I think that's really going to come down to personal preference, but let's do a close-up of the inlays. Maybe a slight gap at the very back here. It's hard to tell because they kind of radius the edges of the inlays, or of the titanium where the inlays go. And then one last thing, I'm going to go low tech to show you guys kind of a visual representation. But I want to show you guys kind of what how the pivot was captured, because it's kind of captured in a weird way. But essentially, assuming that this is the lock side of the knife. So this is the titanium frame, and this is the pivot hole, and it has kind of a weird indent like this on the knife. And then what happened is you have the center of the pivot that basically comes up. So you've got a flat spot that's reacting to kind of a little bump. So imagine this drawn shaded portion is the actual stainless steel pivot on the knife, and then this portion here is actually the titanium frame. So I don't know if that's really going to make sense. Hopefully the video that I linked to on Instagram shows it a little bit better. But initially I was like, oh, it's a captured pivot. And then I went to unscrew it, and the pivot started moving a little bit, and I was like, what the hell? I'm like, it's not actually captured. But what happened was you've got this flat portion, and it was coming all the way down here before it made contact, and the same thing on the other side, it came to here before it made contact. And so it is captured, but when you first start to unscrew it, it feels like it's not, until it hits the edge and it actually, you know, captures, essentially. So damn, that is an ugly drawing. I don't know if that was helpful. Again, just check out the Instagram video. But I thought it was worth commenting about, because that's not normally how I see pivots captured. So yeah, we'll slowly move that out of the way, pretend that didn't happen. But anyways, I mean, that's pretty much it for the knife then. So you know, excellent fit and finish. I like the design. Since I used it so much and I carried it so much, it really grew on me as far as its usefulness, the way it feels in the hand. I think it's well done. So, you know, again, personal preference is going to dictate whether or not you like this knife. As far as, you know, the cons in general, overseas company, warranty support is, you know, I've never had to use it, so I can't comment to that. Thankfully, companies like Maxace are available at your larger US dealers like Blade HQ and others. And so if you get one and you immediately have a problem right off the bat, obviously a company like Blade HQ is going to take care of you, and so that does reduce the risk as opposed to buying off websites where they're shipped directly from overseas. So, all right, leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful or somewhat interesting. Give me a thumbs up if it was, and a thumbs down if it wasn't. You can always follow me on Instagram for more daily content. Take care.